Welcome back everyone to another video in our construction engineering course. In this video, we are going to learn about the different types of contracts in construction projects. Contracts could be divided into different types based on the payment method. In this video, we are going to learn about the different payment methods between project owners and contractors. But it is important to always remember this very important concept, which is risk equals money. So, whenever a payment method has more risk on the contractor, the owner must always expect higher prices from the contractors, and vice versa. When a payment method has less risk on the contractor, lower prices are expected. So, based on what we have just explained, we can divide the types of contracts into three main types. First is fixed price contracts, second is cost reimbursable, while the third contract type is time and material. Under the fixed price category, there are three different subcategories, which are firm fixed price incentive fees, and target price. While under the cost reimbursable category, there are two different subcategories, which are cost plus fixed fees and cost plus incentive fees. In this lecture, we will learn more in details about each one of those categories and subcategories. First, we will learn about fixed price contracts. This type of contracts is also known as lump sum contracts, and in this type, the contractor provides his bid in a form of fixed cost, which he is obligated to finalize the project scope of work within this budget. This type of contracts could be the most commonly used type for construction projects, especially with governmental projects, and it is very clear that in this type almost all of the risk is on the contractor, because in case if he missed any of the project's components during estimating the cost, or in case of any external factors that affected his cost, he will still be obligated to finalize the project within the agreed costs in the contract. And this is why in this type of contracts, the contractors always add a margin of contingency cost for his safety. But in this type of contracts, the scope of work has to be very detailed for the contractor in advance to enable him to quote the price, because the contractor will be obligated to finalize all of the work within a specified cost, so he must be fully aware about all of the details of the project in advance. And also, change orders in this type of contracts are very hard during execution phase, because any change in the scope will lead the contractor to submit a variation order with a new cost. So now we will discuss the difference between the three subcategories of fixed price contracts. First subcategory is firm fixed price, and in this case the contractor has to fully comply with the specified cost without any change. Second subcategory is fixed price with incentive fees, and in this case the contractor should comply with the specified cost also. However, in this case there will be a margin for incentive fees that could be given to the contractor based on specific performance parameters that are agreed on in advance, such as duration to finalize the project, the contractor's quality, and so on. So for example, if the contractor finalizes the project in an earlier date than agreed, he will get an incentive fee. Third, and the last category, is target price, and in this type, a specific target price is set for the project by the owner in advance, and the difference between the target price and the actual cost is split between the owner and the contractor. For example, if the owner set a target price of 100 million for a project, then the contractor finalized the project with an actual expenses of 70 million, then the contractor will get paid 70 million for his actual cost, in addition to profit of 15 million, which is half of the difference between the target price, the 100 million, and the actual cost, which is the 70 million. But of course, this is risky also for the contractor, because he may end up with no profit at all or even with loss. And this type is very rare to be used in construction projects. Second type of contracts we will learn is cost reimbursable contracts. And in such contract, the contractor gets paid for all of his expenses in addition to a specific value which is agreed upon in advance as his profit. Here you can see the difference between this type of contracts and fixed cost contracts, because now all of the risk is on the owner, and not the contractor, because the contractor will get paid for all of his costs anyway. However, the owner is in risk of the project running over budget. And this is why this type of contracts is used in case of non-clarity of the scope of work, or if we are expecting a lot of changes on the project through its life cycle for some reason, because in this case it is very easy to adopt any new changes to the project immediately, because the contractor will get paid for all of his expenses anyway. There are two subcategories type of the cost reimbursable contracts as we have mentioned earlier. First, we have cost plus fixed fees, and in this type there is a specific value or a specific percentage that is fixed as the contractor's profit. Second type is cost plus incentive fees, and in this type the contractor profit is decided during the project based on the contractor's performance, such as quality or speed of performance or any other performance parameter agreed on. Third type of contracts is time and material contracts, and in this type of contracts the contractor will be required to deliver a specific number of laborers or subject matter experts to carry out any requirements for the client, while the contractor shall be paid a specific rate for each hour or day or even month based on the agreed rate of payment for each position. And this is why in these contracts the contractor must specify a rate for each position per hour or day or month, and this is usually used in case of long-term contracts such as maintenance contracts. And in this case the risk is shared between both of the client and the contractor. So here we can see a summary comparison between the three main types of contracts which we have discussed. First, there are fixed cost contracts, and we can see that in this type of contracts the risk is the highest on the contractor and very low on the client, while the need of details is very high and the project's adaptation to change is very low. Then comes the cost reimbursable contracts, and in this type of contracts the risk is very high on the client and very low on the contractor, while the need for details is very low and the project's adaptation to change is very high. And finally comes the time and material contracts, where the risk is shared between both of the client and the contractor and the need for details is low and the project adaptation to change is very high. So this is it for our video today, and this will be the end of our first chapter, while in the next chapter we will start discussing the difference between waterfall and agile projects and the project's life cycle of each one of them. So see you in our next video. Thank you.